Hello everybody, Lord Almighty here. Today is Sunday, April 7th, 2024, and if it seems like this is the only place where I've been fishing for the past month, that's not entirely true. I've been fishing other places, but this pond seems like the only place where I can actually catch anything. So I came back here today to see if I couldn't do just that, because it has been a while since I have felt a tug. Gonna start out with a spinnerbait. I'm hoping for some largemouth bass, but if they're not biting, I could switch over to crappie. And let's get to it, see what's biting. I am not going to be picky today. Well, fishing has been pretty rough so far this spring. The weather has just not cooperated, and it has made for some tough overall conditions. I've been getting bit here and there, but I haven't found that consistently good spring bite yet. It's just been too cold, too wet. These fish just haven't quite turned on yet. I mean, I know it's coming, but it seems to be happening later than usual this year. Nothing to do but grind it out until the fish are ready to play. Another reason why I decided to come to this pond, aside from it being that it's fishing pretty well this spring, or at least decent, I wanted to find some place that wasn't stocked with trout. Yesterday was the opening day of trout season here in New Jersey, and any pond or river that got stocked with trout has just been getting absolutely hammered this weekend. So I wanted to go someplace where the fishing pressure was probably a little bit lighter. This pond normally gets fairly steady pressure, but there's no trout season spike that you see with some of the other ponds in the area. So I'm a little bit more optimistic that the fish here haven't been beat up on as much. Oh, fish on. Look at that. Little dinky largemouth. Well, okay. We all got to start somewhere. It's something anyway. And I ain't getting skunked. So that's nice. Oh, fish on. Looks like another bass. All right. Still not too big, but certainly bigger than that last one. Okay, chunky fish. Alrighty. That fish was up shallow. Let's hope there's more of them up shallow. That's where I was hoping to catch him today. With this sun out, I'm thinking the water's gonna warm up a little bit this afternoon. Bring some of these fish up shallow. Fish on. Feels like a decent fish. Pickerel. I only got a 4-pound line on here. I hope he doesn't bite me off. Looks like I got him hooked okay. All right. Come on up here, buddy. Alrighty. Thin pickerel, as pickerel often are. But fish of the day so far, I will take it. Alright, well, so far the bass bite has been underwhelming. Did a few lure changes and really didn't find anything that the bass were super keyed in on. So I'm gonna switch over to the panfish jig and I'm gonna see if the crappie are biting instead. Crappie usually bite better in the cold water than the bass do anyway. Well guys, not even the panfish jig turned up any bites here. So, you know the bite's tough if that's the case. I think I'm just gonna have to bail, try to find him someplace else. So, let me think about where to go next. Sit tight, and I will see you in a couple of seconds. Alright, well, here we are at the next spot. We'll see how this one treats us. And since the spinnerbait's the only thing I've landed any fish on today, I went back to that. We'll see if that's the ticket. If not, as usual, I have plenty of other lures I brought with me. There we go, fish on. There's a bass on that spinnerbait. Yeah, all right. All right. Another chunky, healthy looking bass. Glad I switched back to the spinnerbait. That might be the ticket today. All right, well, I fished around this whole pond with the spinnerbait and I did not get any more bites up shallow. So I'm thinking that most of these fish are probably still deep. So that's why I'm here at this end of the pond, which is the deep end, and I'm gonna throw around the drop shot. So I'm gonna trawl bottom and see if these fish are deep and if they're interested in this thing. Fish on. There we go. On the drop shot. Oh. He had a rough landing. There you go. Won't keep you any longer. All right. Well, I can't tell if he was up shallow and came out deep or he was up deep and came up shallow. Because he was like right on the border. Right in that transition area between deep and shallow water. But at least I found something else that they want to bite. That's half the battle right there. Is that a fish? Yeah, it is. All right. Ah, it's a crappie. He did hit it awfully light. And now I know why. All right. There we go. There's your thumbnail. Well, everybody, I think that is gonna do it. Was another grindy kind of day out here where I had to work for every single bite. I did get my bites, but it took all afternoon and it certainly wasn't easy. And that has made it apparent that things just aren't quite there yet. I think what we need is a solid week of warm weather to warm this water up and get fish up shallow and feeding and in a pre-spawn mood. Because so far this spring it's just been picking at them here and there, and that bite, that consistent spring bite, it just has not materialized yet. So really it's just a matter now of waiting out the weather and hoping spring does what spring does, which is warm things up and get things going. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you on the next adventure.